Hello everyone, I'm Roseveer, and in this video I wanted to talk about Stoopzz' recent video on PvP gearing in Shadowlands. But before I do that, I wanted to quickly apologize to anybody who was enjoying my videos previously. I had a very small audience that was watching, but I haven't uploaded in quite a while. But I'm going to be getting back to that very shortly. Hopefully be uploading once every week to 2 weeks, going into Shadowlands, now that I'm at a place with Classic WoW that it's not completely absorbing my entire life and I kind of have some free time. So keep an eye out for videos in the future and let's get to it. To start things off, I'm going to pull up Stoopzz' video and play a short clip from it with the first thing that caught my eye as far as the PvP gearing goes in Shadowlands, and in my mind, a much bigger problem than what he was pointing out.
Like that, but for every class in the game, you can see haste versa for like 90% of the classes. Then you have some classes that want versatility mastery, and then for holy paladin, crit versatility, and then maybe some crit haste as well to hit that haste threshold. So these are the desired PvP stats, which are extremely important to perform well in arena.
Okay, so I don't know how many people will have picked up on what was wrong with what he said there. So I'm going to bring up a screenshot here that will help me better illustrate what exactly the problem is. So the main issue that I picked up from his video, other than the things that he was pointing out, which are really valid criticisms in their own right, was the amount of classes that want haste versa for their main stats for PvP. There's no reason why a warrior, a hunter, and a priest should share the same stats that they want on their gear. That's absolutely ridiculous. And if everybody wants the same stats, then you might as well get rid of stats and just put item level on gear and have that magnify the power of your character and remove any RPG elements at all, because you don't have to think everybody just wants haste versa. Because stats are so core to the feeling of an RPG and the game itself, I don't really feel like it's something that I should belabor the issue on and push even further. It should be pretty obvious to everybody that warriors wanting the same stats as a priest isn't exactly ideal. So because of this, I'm going to leave that point, because I could literally talk for hours about why this is a problem and different ways that Blizzard could potentially go out and fix it. Maybe that's a topic for another video. But because of that, I'm going to move on to another point that Stoopzz made.
The guy in the comment essentially said that, oh, like hardcore raiders have no problem doing PvP. PvPers should suck it up and do mythic raiding, essentially. First of all, not everyone's a hardcore raider. Not everyone is a hardcore PvPer. It's just the content that they enjoy. Maybe they log on for 2 to 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day. They have a job, they have a life. They don't have time to do all that type of stuff to feel optimal in the game. I'm not talking about to feel like the best geared character in the game. We're just talking about to feel optimal, to feel like your character is how it should feel, right? It has nothing to do with that. But I want to further elaborate on this guy's point, because I want to show you guys the issues here. So when looking at all of these are the options you have, right? For cloth, you literally have what, 8 options? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 options. Now, if I go over to this spreadsheet and I go to cloth, these are all the items that are currently available in PvE for cloth. Look at how many options you have. You have 5 helms, 5 shoulders, 6 chests, 6 legs. There are almost more leg cloth options than you have total for cloth in PvP. I mean, come on, guys. This has nothing to do with trying to make PvP gearing overpowered or the best possible gearing in the game. I just think it should be fair. I mean, it's just not fair. This is wrong.
So the issue here that Stoopzz is actually getting at is actually much deeper than I think he realizes, and it's really good to hear it coming from somebody else. And it's the difference between fairness and balance. Now, a lot of people are going to freak out at me saying this, but balance in a multiplayer game, MOBA, MMO, FPS, it doesn't really matter, isn't actually that important as long as the game feels fair and looks fair. So fairness is more important than balance. Now, the issue with this PvP gearing system here is that they only have 8 choices and they're set in stone currently. I know Blizzard's recently come out and said that they're going to fix this and work on making it better, but say for example, the PvPers had a similar number of choices to PvEers with multiple different stats on those pieces, then the game would be fair and it would appear fair, even though the PvP items, I believe, have a slightly higher item level at the beginning of the expansion than what you can get from a Mythic 0. So, with Mythic Plus not being available at the start, it wouldn't be balanced, and the best gear would technically be coming from PvP. And that doesn't mean entire sets of best in slot gear would be coming from PvP, it just means that PvP would have some of the best pieces that you want for PvE. So the most hardcore PvEers are going to be doing both PvP and PvE to gear, and the PvPers would be doing the same, which is something that Blizzard wants anyways. They want the best players and the most geared players to be people that play the entirety of the game and don't just focus really heavily on one system. With all that being said, I have one more clip that I'm going to play from Stoopzz' video that I think goes over another really important issue with the PvP gearing.
And with the current honor values, even if this gets tuned a little bit, the current honor values to get a full set of rank 6 gear, which is 190 item level, which I think Mythic 0, a Mythic 0, base Mythics, which people will be doing the first day. People are going to be doing the Mythic 0s the first day of launch. A Mythic 0 drops 183 item level. Rank 6 BG gear offers 190. Now, do I think, BG gear being at 190 is a fine number? I actually think that's okay, but the fact that you have to rank it up 6 times to get to a level that's adequate to Mythic 0s, I think's outrageous. And if you were excited to gear through BG, well, guess what? You better start doing a lot of Battlegrounds. Because this guy calculated it, and with his math, at an average of 15 minutes per BG with a 50% win rate, you're going to have to do 627 Battlegrounds to get a full set of rank 6 Mythic 0 gear. That equates to 156 hours of BG time. Not total time in the game, BG time. That's 6.5 days straight, 24/7 of BGs to get a full set of 190 gear.
All I have to say about that is I'm currently ranking with my second character in Classic WoW, and man, 156 hours, those sound like rookie numbers, to be honest. To get a full set of PvP gear, that's like, you could get that in 2 weeks easy, like without even pushing hard for it. So when it comes to the more casual players, it's going to take them a while to get that set, but what I think it really comes down to, and the real issue with the time investment, is currently the time investment is not worth the reward. Because the stats aren't good on the pieces for what you want, like if you want the haste Versa, the stats currently on the gear don't line up with that, so the time investment isn't worth the reward, and that's what needs to be fixed, not necessarily the time investment, at least in my opinion. When it comes down to it, Stoopzz made a really good video on PvP gearing in Shadowlands and touched on a lot of game design implications of that PvP gearing at the same time, which is something that really interests me, and one of the reasons why I chose to make a video about this instead of something like Covenants, which everybody's been talking about recently. So with all that being said, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.